What are your thoughts on the hustle mentality of working hard in your 20s, building a business, and retiring/focusing more on personal interests in your 30s and 40s? Should everyone try it? Charlie mentioned that he knew some people that it didn't work out for. Do you think that's because of that person or outside circumstances? And what are the traits of a successful entrepreneur in today's society, assuming they start out in a first world country in a middle-class environment?
Great caveat there too. You know what I mean? Like, you've made this question very easy to answer because you've really framed it in a way that is, I could just hit it. Okay, so let's take it in parts.
Yep.
The first piece is, do I think everyone should do it?
Yeah, everyone
given
should,
those parameters. Yes, because even the people that it didn't work out for are not worse for it. You just went to the one guy's wedding, right? Who moved with us to Brazil. Mm-hmm. He's doing fine. You had a destination wedding.
Oh yeah. He tried to start a thing, then he joined a startup.
And it went bad for him.
Then he went back to working for someone else, and then now he's at another startup, and he's the CEO of this new startup. It took him till 30. Yeah, but. Yeah, he's doing very well.
So I think generally what happens is your parents, when you're little, tell you, don't do that, because you're a crazy kid and you will stick a fork in the socket, and you become risk averse by the time you're 18. What you don't realize is you're like the most risk robust from 18 to 30. You can fall so hard on your ass financially, emotionally, and recover and have a really amazing life. And conversely, the compounding interest of an upside of like a business that works, that pays you back and back and back, has more time to grow. So yeah, man, take those shots, take those risks young for sure. Even if they don't work out, he's in the spot he would be, that particular guy.
I do want to throw a different angle on this. I think you answered, should I pursue risk in my 20s? Should I be an entrepreneur in my 20s? This guy mentioned hustle culture specifically.
Oh, that's fair.
And that to me is very different. I think of hustle culture as putting work above all else for a period of time, above your health, above your relationships, and then turning it off. And so I think there's this thought of, I'm going to work really, just put my head down, bust my ass, sell for 10 million, wake up at 30, my 20s are gone, but I'm 30, I have 10 mil, now I can find my wife, my friends, whatever. I don't know anyone that's really done that. I feel like hustlers keep hustling, they just get into the game, they keep trying to pursue the God that they've been worshiping, which is wealth. And I also know people who have managed to be quite successful while still having great friends, focusing on their health, sleeping 9 hours. I know Gary Vee has changed his tune. He's like the god of hustle culture. Now he says value sleep. But at one point, I'm pretty sure he was saying, everybody gets the same 24 hours in a day. I'm going to outwork you. I'm going to work while you're with family. I'm going to work while you're sleeping. Yeah. And I appreciate that he's pivoted. Everybody's allowed to change their mind. I think that's what people think of when they think of hustle culture. So for that, I'd say I would never recommend that to someone.
Strongly against that.
I would never recommend, I'm going to put my health and my family and my friends and my social life aside while I focus only on hustling for wealth. And then 30 to 40 is when I'll really turn it around and focus on that other stuff.
It doesn't work. I don't know anyone who's done it. And I even think of people who I don't know who are like huge founders. And I mean, I do have one friend that worked hard and has made millions of dollars and is now really kicking, but he wasn't even that crazy about it. Like the people that build these insane businesses, they often have a hard time stepping away from them. Actually, our friend Dylan, who like worked crazy and then sold his business to Google.
It can be done.
It can be done. It's just not.
It's not what I would recommend to anyone, but it can definitely be done. Yeah.
It's not what I would recommend either. I would recommend risk, and so you asked the successful entrepreneur. Keep in mind, if you go to Y Combinator, they're going to give you a different answer, because what I consider a successful entrepreneur is a successful lifestyle entrepreneur, which is someone that throughout the process enjoys their life, picks an industry that they're interested in, likes the work that they do, generally speaking. I'm tired of Charisma videos at this point, but it's a great gig. So that is going to be persistence, selecting something that they are willing to be the best at. The converse of that is people that select the best niche. It can be done, but what I have seen is that when people really are interested in fitness and they do fitness, they stand a better chance than if they jump into XYZ product because it's, fidget spinners because they're super hot. We had a friend who made a ton of money on fidget spinners, Benji. He was on the podcast for a couple months, but like that he's not the fidget spinner king. He doesn't care about fidget spinners. He didn't make the world's greatest fidget spinner. He just made money for a couple months on fidget spinners.
And when they became unpopular, it's not like he was interested in curing ADD. Because you can imagine someone who was interested in curing ADD, they're on the fidget spinner trend, but they see it going down, but they've studied the industry, they've learned best practices of producing product, they know the psychological triggers, and so they come out with the next even better thing because they fell in the world. And that's our friend Justin, who started Kettle on Fire, is just deep in consumer goods and is making other businesses in the consumer goods space. And I think what doesn't work as well is when you hop around from, I'm going to do a physical product, I'm going to do an info product, I'm going to do a coaching service, I'm going to do, I was doing golf and now I'm going to do tap dance. And you're not a good golfer or a good tap dancer. You're just picking things because you think that they're good ideas. That's not something I see particularly succeed.
The people that succeed, and it has to be said, are, I mean, I'm sure their IQs test well above average. What else are the traits? Perseverance has blown me away. People have come from behind for sure.
Just sticking with it.
I think they're generally
pivoting,
intelligent.
sticking with it, but pivoting, if that makes sense. Like, I'm doing fitness YouTube, but I was doing it this way and now I'm doing it this way, and I was doing it this way and now I'm doing it this way. So they're kind of like a bowling ball with bumpers, if that makes sense. Like, they're always going forward, but they're hitting the wall and pivoting as well.
And even just to perhaps a more clear analogy, it's the people that I know that like switch industry many times, have not done as well as the people who have stayed in the same industry and approach it from a different way. So like, I'm doing our one buddy, the jump rope dudes. First Brandon was entrepreneur fitness. Then he was Zen dude fitness. Then it was always, they were going to do base jump at one point. It was always fitness related, and they were just finding their angle, their way of communicating that landed. And we were in the same boat. We did have one industry switch from parkour to social skills and charisma, which is reasonable. Like, you're allowed to, don't think that you have to stick with the thing that you're not doing well at forever. But if you're changing every couple of months, you are not building a sustainable skill set or asset in all likelihood. Anything else?
What else was in the question?
So the next part was, like, do you think that people who it didn't work out for, do you think it's because of that person or outside circumstances?
I think for the people in my sphere, it's because of that person. Now, that's, you could say that their level of God-given intelligence is outside their circumstances. You could say that their level of receptivity to good advice is outside circumstances.
Well, sure, if you're a determinist, it's always outside. Just.
But it's due to that person, in my experience. Based things that we would typically like. It's not like, oh, the economic crisis broke them. It's not that. It's mindset and receptivity to good advice. One of the biggest things that I think keeps people stuck is an inability to honestly assess their situation because their ego has gotten involved with it, and that screws a lot of people. And it's particularly tough in the make money industry. Forces you to believe that you're really successful, so you say that you're going to make money, so that you have to say that you're making money. You can't admit that you're not doing well, and that's just a vicious spiral, because you have a business. If you have a business that isn't working, your ego will not allow you to confront that fact and take the steps to adjust it, because you have to pretend to be making money constantly. Low ego. Go ahead.
Cool. And then the last part was, what are these successful traits?
I think I said perseverance, intelligence. I feel like there should be a third.
Yeah. I would say perseverance, intelligence, and a willingness to learn from other people. I feel like that's pretty massive in the people that I know. Everybody had mentors or was going to workshops or was asking advice.
I would say also that there's a bit of, here's the dumb luck in getting the right early mentors. So like, if you, I'm not going to say any names, but there's plenty of bad people that you could fall into. We fell into Tim Ferriss, who was like, everything is bullshit. Ignore 90% of the business advice you get. Stick with essentialism, marketing step by step. But other people get these other gurus that a lot of them are on YouTube, quite frankly, making tons of videos about how to make money, for instance, on you name the thing du jour, whatever, the drop shipping or the social media marketing agency, whatever. If you get a bad early mentor, it can screw you up a lot, which is why I'm like, big on first read the 4-Hour Work Week, then check out Marketing Step by Step. I truly think those are the right mentors.
This is going to go on YouTube, right? This isn't for Patreon?
Yep.
Okay, we should link to the ebenpagantraining.com/charisma. We have a marketing step-by-step is the second thing we recommend for every entrepreneur. It's normally $1,000. We have a link to it for $97. So in terms of getting the right mentors, I would say read the 4-Hour Workweek and then go through that course. And that, I think that took us a really good way with Charisma on Command.
And then it's running lean. We've talked about it, running lean by Ash Maurya. Like there's 3 and 4, but do 1 and 2 first. If you can't get through a book or a program, it's unlikely that you will stick with.
Yeah, I just think of our business knowledge with the parkour business, and then going through marketing step by step, and our business knowledge afterwards was for an entrepreneur like tremendously upgraded, much more so than my 4 years at business school.
We called it BCX parkour, dude. We would have named it something that didn't suck. But yeah,